gifted archer and circus entertainer, Flair always suspected she'd be a star. Her father told her, her mother told her, even her handful of fans told her. Yet, despite her talent for acrobatics and trick shots, she struggled to stand out among her fellow circus folk. Flair needed something to catapult her to the top of the bill. She tried different stage names: trickshot, quiver, bolt. None stuck, and without a great stage name, Flair was convinced she'd never hit the big time. Then her family joined forces with Billy Punter's caravan of fun, entertainers and marketers of the unimaginable, and hosts to some of the hottest travelling talent in Albion. Their star act was a crackling wielder of lightning, Flash. Watching him stride around the stage, Flair found herself entranced. Here was a performer who could work the crowd like no one she'd ever seen before. It took her hours to pluck up the courage to speak to Flash, but when she did, they clicked. There was a connection between them and both knew it. After hours of conversation, Flash explained he needed a partner, somebody with whom he had real chemistry, someone with, well, a little flair. Flair took her newfound name and stepped into the center circle. Immediately a star was born. Alongside Flash's flamboyance came Flair's precision. Complementing her skill was his will. Who knew magic and sharpshooting would be such a perfect match? Flair jumped and twirled, her bowstring a blur, and became adored by the crowd. And it seemed that adoration wasn't just on stage. The new duo's partnership sizzled with possibilities too. For a while, Flair lived for the roar of the crowd and the thrill of the show. But time passed and she grew tired of the hollow adulation offered by the circus limelight she'd once treasured. Surely there was more to life than mere fame and fortune. The king's call to arms set a fire in Flair's belly. Why spend her days entertaining the masses when she could save them instead? So Flair left the circus and even, she thought, Flash, and journeyed to Brightlodge to answer Wendelglass's call. Cool, wry, and deadly Flair's a demoness in the heat of battle, but once her game face is off, she's warm and friendly to be around. If you wanted the precision of Shroud with the fast-paced action of Rook, then you needed a little flair. Flair was a masterful archer with a touch of the dramatic. Fire was a big part of her act in your band of heroes. Breath of Fire was an ability where Flair would blow fire from the tips of her arrows towards her enemies. With Tar Arrow, Flair would load a tar arrow into her bow, laying down a strip of oil. This tar could then be lit and burn enemies. Do you want a little more circus in your fighting? Vanishing Act would allow Flair to magically appear and disappear in a puff of smoke. This wasn't the only trick Flair had up her sleeve, though. Glamour would load an arrow filled with a bewitching gas that temporarily turned enemies into allies. Flair's breathtaking talent for archery earned her a name in the circus, but she soon realized there's more to life than the smell of the greasepaint and the adulation of the crowd. After all, what good is a trick shot if your audience has been eaten by monsters? Flair is no longer content to merely entertain the masses. She's out to save them instead. Choose Flair if you want a fast-paced archer with a fiery sense of theatrics.
Flair was no stranger to life on the road. The circus never stayed in one place for long. But she'd been traveling for weeks, and her journey couldn't end soon enough.
Not sure I can clear that, even with a run-up. Hold.
Archery on the move had always been Flair's speciality, but when she'd left the circus, she'd hoped for more than perforating red caps.
There were loads of them, all teeth and spikes and eyes. Oh, they'll have made such a mess of my petunias.
If I had my way, you'd be dead already. But seeing as I'm not quite myself, how can I help? Ah, you there! Serve malice and assist this farmer.
Third time this week that little so-and-so has run off with the first sniff of a red cap. Well, help yourself to that chest he presumed I'd drag along after him. That'll learn him a lesson.
Excellent! Now, stride forth with malice and conquer Brightlodge! Now! Fine. Stride forth with malice and happily visit Brightlodge!
When Flair heard the rumors, she knew she couldn't stay at the circus, not when people needed her. Now she'd had her first taste of heroism, and she was delighted.
It will be such a pleasure to crush these red cats beneath my feet.
The name's Leech. From those calves, I'd say you twos were on your way down to Brightlodge for this hero business too.
I am not aiming you through choice, mortal. When this curse lifts, all will fear the name of malice.
Get ready! How'd you like that, eh? Flame. Yeah. Ow!
Man, our shadow blight, all doctor.
I'll never get used to that. Oi! We've rattled them.
All these people, these heroes, all making their way to Brightlodge. Flair knew she'd made the right choice.
Hello. I might be I might be tipsy, but there's some funny, sneaky goat up there. Definitely real. He doesn't look anything like the ghosts I usually imagine.
Oh, go on then. Can't miss a chance to get my hands on a few more squishy bits.
Flair prepared herself. This new companion was a hero too, and whatever was ahead had made them cautious.
Don't mind if I do. Keep it up. Ignite!
You're all right now, Bab?
This is turning out to be a ride for the old dog.
Firing a bow while swinging from a rope had long ceased the thrill. But to work together, to use her skill to fight for the common good, this was something.
Ready? Ow! Watch! Shake it off. Deep breaths now. You can do horizontal later, Tipple. Need a hand? Evil never rests. Come on, Tipple. Having a snooze, eh?
Thanks for having my back, Flair.
Did you hear that? More bloody heroes! Will you stop clanking through here? I'm trying to sleep.
Flame. Let's turn off the heat!
To beat the haymaker!
What's up with me?
And there it was. Brightlodge, home of heroes. Flair had put her old life behind her and couldn't wait to get started on her new one.
If you're delivering more flowers, you're too late. We're nearly ready to start the... Oh, behind me. More heroes. Sorry about that. Welcome to Brightlodge, the pride of Albion and seat of Wendelglass the Magnificent. You can't go in now.
Down about the gates. That turkey's stomach rot for me.
Greetings, hero.
A king. No earthly power shall challenge the authority of malice. Let us deal with this pretender.
How many more of them are gonna turn up? Heroes here, heroes there, I don't know. Oh, I wish I was in charge of the flowers.
An excitable crowd and a party in full swing. This was all a little too like the circus for comfort. The king would surely have some answers.
Welcome, my legacy.
This lot
This was
know
the
how to throw a
best decision
festival,
I've ever made. I knew this day would come. I built this town up from the rocks, and now you, the heroic peach on my kingly pudding. Now, I'll be opening the festivities in just a few minutes, and I want you front and center. But before that great honor, I've just one thing to ask. Could you pop by my boy? He's a quiet sort, and it'd do him good to see a real hero.
No, I'm not the Wendell Glass you're after. Oh. Hello. I suppose Father sent you. He does so like to keep me included. Still, nice to see a friendly face. Oh, yes, I had to give you a message. Wendell Glass Hall would very much like it if you posed for a portrait. Would you be able to pop down and see Colin?
You. Nothing like my initial sketches. Well, we'll soon sort that out. Brightlodge must have an accurate record of this momentous occasion.
Clock, 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 clock.
I record most things, but that, my friend, I will not. Not even worth sharpening a pencil for. Hold that pose, right there. Marvelous. I shall have your portrait ready in a jiffy.
There you are. And don't you look magnificent? Everything I'd hoped, and more. Citizens, subjects of Brightlodge, we stand at the dawn of a new age. An age of kings, an age of heroes. The myths of the past are returned to us. And it is I, Wendell Glass the First, who has brought them to you. No more do we need fear the world beyond the bridge. No more shall we cower in homes of mud and stone. No more...
My children, stolen from their home, stolen from me, from life itself. You wanted them, Wendell Glass. You wanted their adoration. Let me look at you. You don't deserve them. And so, you shall join them.
Flair! Here we go. Hold.
This was exactly why Flair had left the circus. All across Albion, people needed heroes, and here was her chance to prove she was up to the job.
Well played, that lady. If only we could join forces. Well, I suppose we should save these Wendell glasses. Would that be heroic?